So, like last week, I had one of those weeks where I went to bed crying. I'm like, oh God, there's no food at the pantry. And I got to wake up in the morning. I got to go down here and take care of the people. How am I going to feed the people? And I called my aunt. I cried to her and I cried to my mom. And she was like, God fed many with one fish. He was like, remember, sometimes he'll let it go dry. Just so you can pray to him to fill it. So I'm like, okay, I got 2 point of views that I could look at that, keeps me in a positive state, that when things go dry. And last week I had one of those moments I went to bed crying, but I was like, but God, I know you're going to feel it, but I'm just saying. And it's like the next 2 days we had food just coming. Food was coming. Food was coming. Food was coming. Every time we looked up, someone was dropping off food. Like it wouldn't stop coming. And yesterday, a lady that was moving from Miami and she had just found out about Village Freedge. She brought us over a bunch of like baby clothes, men clothes, shoes. And she gave me this envelope and it had money and I just started welling, like crying. I was like, oh God, you don't even have any money.
That's wonderful.
I'm about to cry talking about it, but yeah, it's just those little moments like that keeps me going, because I'm like, if it wasn't meant for me to be on this journey, he wouldn't keep letting me have those praise breaks. It's like I'll have a breakdown, but it's like he'll also give me a praise break in the midst of my breakdown. So I'm definitely grateful. I have those moments to keep me going. And people think that it's easy. It's not easy to get up and run your business and to have hundreds of people depending on you for food. So it can get stressful sometimes, but God didn't put me in position for something that he didn't assign me for. This definitely had to be in my journey and my destiny, because it's not something that tires me out. It's like it fills me up to be able to keep getting up to take care of them. And it fills me up just to see these people walk away so happy with something that's so simple as milk sometimes, if I have eggs sometimes, if I have bread sometimes. So it's just the simple things that we take for granted sometimes that someone is so happy about. Right. That's what fills me up daily, and to know that, I'm doing the right thing with the support of so many people and organizations that step in and help us keep flowing and going. I'm grateful to be here, to be able to do that.
Yeah. And, the fact that you're able to put that into words, because that's what the human experience comes down to. The stories that we share so other people know the journey that you're on, and those that need to show up at the right time, they can be there for you. Hugs and kisses to your little nephew. But yeah, that's what you're describing makes me think of a puzzle, and oftentimes we know on the cover of the box what the picture's supposed to be, but you only get to that one piece at a time. So
Right.
Even though it can be a little overwhelming when you're thinking of what's on your plate, when you realize that God is in control, and that ultimate vision is going to materialize, you just have to keep plugging away one piece at a time. It will manifest. So
in a positive state as you're going through the journey, because sometimes those little thoughts creep in sometimes, and it's like, why are you doing this?
Absolutely.
And or it's telling you like, child, money coming or food ain't coming, or and it'll really get you discouraged. But I've had too many up days to let one down day take total control of the goal and why I started and who I'm serving and who I'm doing it for. And like I said, I'm doing it so that we can form that unity again. And when so many people come, it's always older people, and they're like, I'm so admired that you're so young and you took the initiative to step into your community and take care of your people.
Perfect.
And I'm like, we have to start taking care of the young people, have to start doing something, because it starts with us.
Mm-hmm.
We have been conditioned to only worry about ourselves, and we have formed this behavior for generations and generations and generations. So it's time to reverse that mentality of only worrying about self. And it's like, if you see your neighbor that needs help your neighbor. It's not going to take any sweat off your back or is going to take anything off of what you already have. If anything, it's going to increase your blessings, because that's what God wants you to do, to love your neighbor, protect your neighbor, take care of your neighbor. And we fall so short of that. Some people don't even know their neighbor now. You know, you can wave at your neighbor, or you don't even know your neighbor's first name. You know, at times when I was growing up, we knew our neighbors, the kids, you know, the person 4 houses down. You basically knew your whole block, really. You knew who was staying there, how long they stayed there. Oh, they have a child that's 12 or 14, and you knew the name. Right. Now no one knows no one that stays next door. So it's time to, we have to mentally recondition as people and start trusting each other again. I don't know what happened to the lines of trust, but we have to rebuild that. And it starts with one person, and then the next person. And then we just team up and we start rebuilding again and reforming that village love and the village that we came from. Right. So that we can show these children that, you know, to be compassionate, to love each other, to help each other. Because I always been like that since I was little. If my friends didn't have 50 cents for the dance and I had $1, we're both going to the dance with my $1. You know, or if I had something extra in my lunchbox and someone was hungry, you know, I would share it. So it's just, I always been that way. I always wanted to give and help and, you know, just love, or show people that, you know, you don't have to be mean to, you know, to people. Just love, love, love. I've just always been a fountain of love since I was little.
No, that's wonderful. And you know what you're talking about too, it really does take a dynamic shift to go from being selfish to selfless.
Yeah.
It's so worth that effort. And, you know, I want to transition back really quick to what you said your aunt told you about being fed with that one fish. You know, when you think about the experience that's recorded in scripture with Christ feeding a crowd of thousands with just a few fish and a couple loaves of bread, not on one occasion, but at least twice that we know.
Yeah.
You know, and then how you describe, you know, that the pressure on you is to make sure that there's at least 100 people in the community that are standing there needing to be fed. It's such a beautiful image of you being determined to not give up. And, you know, for any of those that are listening and that are looking for a supportive tribe to help you reinforce your mindset and embrace that positivity, we just want to invite you to go over to newuwow.com, become a member, because every day you have to reposition that mindset. And, you know, just a couple more questions, Sherina. We're also wondering, what accomplishments are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of me being able to maintain my business and stay in business the years that I've had with the ups and downs of business. Me,
oh, you want to take a minute for him? Because I can edit it out. You want to?
No, he's okay. Me, taking the initiative of starting Village Freedge and staying on task with 2 and 3 locations, refrigerators being stolen and things of that nature. And just, it's like with the refrigerators being stolen and things happening, it's like it gave me more gas to go again. Motivate. So I definitely appreciate the things that happen up or down, because I always try to find the positive even in the bad situations, so that I can keep going, or take a lesson from it, that, you know, next time I won't do this, or I can do this, or I can do it this way. So it's definitely taking every down moment and making it into a positive thing. Anything that happened, I always try to turn it into a lesson and a blessing, that, you know, that I was able to experience it, learn from it, and find a new way to strategize so that I won't have that happen again. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. And you even shared with me that you had the privilege to go on Drew Barrymore's show. What was that experience like?
Yes, when they reached out about me being on Drew Barrymore's show, I was like, Drew Barrymore? Wait, how did she even know? So when me and the producer, she spoke, she was like, yeah, she watches your stories on Village Freedge, and she's just intrigued that, you know, the initiative and the creativity to reach out into the community and help others. So when I went on the show, she was very cool and down to earth. So it wasn't anything to be uptight about. the 2 days before going on the show, like I couldn't sleep. I was nervous. I'm like, I want to make sure I say everything correct. I want to make sure, because I know how short segments are. So I'm like, I have to make sure I get straight to the point, give out the information, the contact, how to reach us, I said, because so many people are going to be watching. So I had to go ahead and minimize everything that I was going to say down to, a science that, I get it all out. I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes. So
Wow.
It felt long when we recorded it. Because I'm like, oh. So sorry. Someone called me. I forgot to silence the phone.
No, it's okay. Technology. But you said it felt longer than it really was?
Yes, it felt longer than the 2-3 minutes when we were recording. So it's like I started sweating. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't plan to be on here so long, because even with you being virtual, they have you like in the back room. You're waiting, waiting, you're in queue. So I'm like, oh my God, this is what happens during the show. You're in the back, you're in queue, you're waiting. She's like, well, let's go over your lines again before we go on. She was like, but if you just don't remember, just freestyle. And that's what ended up happening, because I'm like, I got a brain.
And I'm such a big fan of Drew. So the fact that you had that experience, it's also a reminder, you never know who's watching. So I think it's great that with all the energy, the effort that you're putting into this beautiful element that you're building, that, people are going to have eyes on it. And that support is going to continue to show up when you least expect it. So
yeah, I really didn't expect that one. Like, that was definitely a shocker. I was like, Drew Barrymore, but I was happy for the experience, because it just, as I do more interviews, which I didn't expect from starting Village Freedge, I really didn't expect anything but to put a fridge out there and to help people. And it's like, it just grew. And that's how you knew God was in it and his hands was on it. And he was a part of it, because it has grown into a pantry now where we feed 85 to 150 people a day, from houseless to people that, people that are in rooming homes, shelters, and halfway homes, and people that have homes but are just experiencing a hard time. So we're feeding people on 3 different levels, and not just putting anything in a box and giving it out, because most times that food is wasted. Because if you give a houseless person a box with potatoes, rice, and canned goods, where are they going to cook it at? They're going to leave it on the side of the road. Now that's food waste. So we try to make sure we give the people the things that they need that fits their lifestyle, so that food isn't going to waste.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you nothing but continued success. If we have anyone that's listening that wants to jump in, support, and be of assistance, what is the best way for them to contact you?
We have a website. It's Village Freedge. It's Village FREEDGE.com. Again, Village FREEDGE.com. That is our website. We have an Instagram, which is Village Freedge, spelled the same way. Okay. And all of our contact is there. Email, telephone number, and our website is there as well. And we post every day of videos, pictures, or anything that takes place at the pantry, so that you can see it on a day-to-day basis. And that's our contact information. And again, my name is Sherina.
Fantastic. In fact, we'll make sure to include all of that information in the description and the links, so it makes it very easy for people to come to you. Last question for the day. If we had a time machine and you could jump in it, travel back 20 years, Sherina, what are you saying to yourself?
I'm really surprised at you, young lady. I would have never thought that, I would be a young lady that is now in the community, on the ground, taking care of people on a day-to-day basis, running my own business. I just always knew when I was younger, I thought of everything that I could be. Did I want to be a teacher? Did I want to be a lawyer? And nothing fit my personality. So I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that I'm uniquely able to be myself in this world without having to fit into any description that was created for me as a teacher, lawyer, doctor. And no, not looking down on anyone that, wears those titles, but it's just an extra blessing when you get to be uniquely yourself and be free, to be who God created you to be.
That's fantastic. And you heard it here first. Make sure you get in touch with Sherina, offer the much needed support and assistance. And remember, don't put yourself in a box. Oftentimes, if we live up to a certain level or confine, you forget the amazing things that are on the other side. So
Yes.
let everyone in your world know that you love them, make the necessary connections, stay positive. We have such a wonderful example in Sherina. And we thank you again for coming through today. Much blessings and love, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me, Miss Yvonne. You have a great one, okay? And
Thank
everyone that's out
you.
there watching, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned into Miss Yvonne and her endeavors as she grows and accomplishes everything that she has in her heart.
Hey, it takes one to know one. Thank you all. Talk to you
Have a
next
good
time.
one. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to share this video and like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at NewYouWow. Until next time, stand tall in your power and remember, your belief in yourself is your superpower.